Well, hello, and in this month's episode of What's Knocking About in the Project Nigel yard, let's look at what's still here. Let's look at what's gone. Let's look at what's new. First of all, let's look at the star of the show, the highlight of the yard. Nigel, you may notice that Nigel is sporting some new wheels. They look rather dapper, I think. These came off of Project Boris. The weekend I went off to Madford Engineering. I got a puncture and I ended up just thinking these look nice on there, and they do, and they've managed to stay. But there's more progress on Nigel than just that, because although I haven't started all the jobs on this car just yet, it has had the exhaust fixed. Listen to that. That's how it should sound, which is good. I'm happy about that. Also, it's got a new MOT. Yes, brand new MOT as from yesterday, and now Nigel is becoming my daily car again for a little while. As it goes, I don't really mind that. Next we can move on to Project Hank, which has moved from one part of the yard to another. Just today, in fact, that is. But other than that, there is no more progress on this car. There will be quite soon though, provided I can get myself motivated to do some work on it. Oh, actually there is some progress. Yeah, that's just fallen off right now, just as I've closed the door. Oh look, it's got, it was already broken. It's had another piece of glass stuck on the top of it. So, it needs a new mirror. So I say I want to be working on this one next, but as I'm walking away from it, I'm looking at Project Christine again, and it's probably time I got this one inside and got the carpet stripped out and the sill cover off, ready so it can be welded up. As far as I know, I don't think it needs much else for its MOT, so it's just a matter of motivating the right people to do the work. One of them being me. Project Albert, not moved at all in the past month. There's not a great deal I can say about this one at the moment. Besides, it's going to be going for parts. Too many things wrong with it. Too many niggles. Too much uncare. So I don't know what else would be found if I started trying to fix it. And I struggle to fix things when there's not much wrong with them. So this one's going to be just a complete nightmare. The Zafira is still here, and you'll note it doesn't even have a project name, and that's because it's just simply a scrap Vauxhall. I'm not sure it's sold anything else since I last did this video, but not many people are asking for things, put it that way. Obviously, Transitface is still knocking about. That's how that's going to stay, certainly for the meantime. And of course, Transitface has been doing some work. Quite a bit of work in fact, which is very useful, as well as obviously taking cars around, engines as well. Now the good thing about Transit is the brakes are all fixed on it now. Since having my trip to Madford Engineering, Mick, who runs the place, has replaced both the front calipers and the flexi pipe and the pads as well, and now it's spot on. Yes, the benefits of a Transitface are quite clearly the ability to fetch and carry cars and all sorts of big objects. And speaking of cars, there is one car that's completely gone now. Yep, Project Snotter, the Streetwise, also known as Tony. Originally known as Tony, it just becomes Snotter because of how disgusting and horrible that car actually was. So that's gone. Everything on there that was of any use has come off, and it's yeah, gone to really where it belongs, I would say. The other car that has gone is Boris Johnson. Yes, that lovely Fire Frost Rover 25 with the head gasket failure was bought from me by Mick at Madford Engineering. He seemed to have grown to love these cars while working on them, and he asked me if I had any available, and of course I did. So I drove that down there on the back of Transitface, and he's fixed it already and got an MOT on it, so he doesn't mess around. That's good to know. The other car that has sold and now out of the yard is trusty Project Steve. Scunthorpe Steve, as my friend Peter refers to him. The Rover 45, which I took on and made it look quite a bit better with some cleaning and stuff and some alloy wheels and all sorts of other bits. Well, if you've missed the previous videos, maybe you won't know that he's sold, but he has. He has sold, and to someone that lives just round the corner from me. That's good. Steve was a good car. I enjoyed that car for the few months I had it. But while one Rover 45 has gone, another one has come back. So if you've not been watching, you won't know about Project Waster. Back from Wales. Back from Wales. Yes. You probably do know. Most of my viewers watch most of the things I do, except for the really rubbish stuff, or what they presume is really rubbish. And that's probably the best stuff, actually. Yeah, so here is this car back. Not looking quite so glamorous with its steel wheels on the front and the mirror caps missing because I took them off, but it's here, and I just have some more jobs to do on this car now before I can either use it or simply put it back up for sale. The heater blow doesn't work, the vents are knackered, but I'm not going to replace those, and worse than that was the fact it wouldn't start. But I got it started today. Hopefully that'll be the end of that particular problem. But if it isn't, well, you can't have everything, can you? And then we have George here. I've only just put this back into use because I sold Steve. But due to my no-nonsense sales pitch video of this car, I've sold it. And I've got to deliver this car to Sunderland, where it will have a happy new home, I presume. I spoke to the chap who's bought it for quite a while on the old telephone, which I'm holding right now, and he was very, very enthusiastic, and he'd made his mind up straight away, having seen the video. So I was very pleased by that, and it's going to go and live in his garage, but also be used. But he also said, kind of curiously, he wasn't really too concerned about the paintwork, and he'll happily just use it as it is, which is nice. So goodbye, George. It's been a fantastic car. I mean, I've not used it that much, but I know it's fantastic. Also still languishing around in the yard is Project John. Now, John's been with me for quite a while, and over time it's just had bits coming off and off and off, and eventually I'll get to the point where I think, right, I'm going to pull it all apart properly now, but not really been in any rush for it. But so far I've sold a wing off of it. The front bumper's off, but it's not sold. The door handles have sold. The front seats have sold. And there are a couple of other minor parts as well. And the car still starts and drives. So maybe I should sell it as a going concern. And last of the cars is Project Adam, which is just here. Again, quite a few bits have come off of this. The main thing you'll notice there is the rear bumper's missing, but that's because I traded the tow bar for some other parts of a Rover 25, which I had to dash down to Stafford for the Drive Tribe Rover 25. Now I do have quite a list of things to come off of this car, so they can be delivered next week to Rover Revival, which is quite amusing because it's still his car really. So basically Craig's let me take this car on to take apart, and he wants most of it back. Yep, Project Peugeot the bike face is still here, but why wouldn't it be? If it's not going to break down, there's nothing wrong with it, and I need to have a bike ride every day. It's just that I haven't been having a bike ride every day. I've done it about 3 times in the past month, which isn't quite enough, but I'm going to tell myself it's better than nothing. All I've got to do for next month is try and go for a ride more than 3 times. I wonder if I can manage that. Sure I can. I haven't seen much of Yard Cat recently. In fact, maybe a couple of weeks. That's a shame. I liked seeing Yard Cat every day, even if it was just a fleeting glance as she dashed across in front of me and didn't really want to say hello.